Action here on day number 3, 4. I don't know what we're going with.
It's 3.
It's 3.
Well, day number 3 of the actual tournament.
Are you calling wildcard teams not
Well,
actual teams?
wildcard was like you earned the privilege to play at TI.
Okay, I can agree with that. Welcome. I'm God, joining me as Blitz. Those of you who don't recognize our voices, we've got EG versus LGD. A lot at stake here. LGD perhaps a bit more so because it's a must-win game for them. For EG, they've got a bit of a cushion. They can drop a game here or there and still be top 4.
Yeah, I think EG is just fine, and LGD, man, they need to right the ship. Like every time I think I've seen them play so far, it's just an agonizing game where it looks like they're perfectly fine. Then all of a sudden, we casted their game versus Navi yesterday, right? That was ultra heartbreak city.
They had those games on day 1 as well, but they won them. Like their game, they took a game of OG where it was like they were behind 30 kills or something, and then they just defended high ground. Classic LGD, and then they won the late game.
I mean, they'd be tied with Wings right now if they had those 2 wins from Navi, and they would have effectively eliminated Navi.
No.
So they would have just leapfrogged, and then it would have been a 6-team race, and they wouldn't have been 4th. They'd be tied for 3rd, and they would have pushed Alliance down as well. And
not just the Navi series, the TNC series yesterday was the same thing, where there's one game especially which they really should have won. That game one, they had a massive lead. TNC just somehow defended high ground, turned it around. That was the game where they got beaten by the Alchemist. So
yeah, you talk to these teams, and every one of them dread going to the lower bracket. Nobody wants to start in those best of ones, and you just have to play so many more games, gods. There's just so much more potential to instantly get knocked out. You do want that 1 series cushion at least. You want to be able to play those best of 3s instantly, because there's no worse feeling knowing, man, we just got knocked out in a best of 1.
And it's also an amazing feeling when you win 1 BO3, you're top 6 in TI.
Yes.
That's like your team's guaranteed $1 million.
Yeah.
That's for winning 1 BO3.
That's pretty absurd. And LGD right now, I think they're in a position where you have to kind of look past your regrets, just because. I mean, you saw yesterday when Aggressive just kind of laid into the rest of his team. I'm pretty sure that was Aggressive, right?
Yeah.
He just kind of stood up, he was screaming. I think that's a good moment for them to kind of just say, look, we're terrible, we're losing games we shouldn't lose. Let's not play so passive, because I felt like that was their downfall, is that they seem like they're too okay with teams inflicting their playstyle on them, while they just kind of, in both games, it just felt like they were chilling and not really trying to do anything.
Well, if there's a guy who doesn't want to play passive, definitely Aggressive. Not just talking about his name, but his past CDC history, where that was one of the more fast-paced teams out there. I think as far as LGD's day-to-day goes, they've got 2 very tough opponents. They have to verse EG, then they have to verse Wings, 2 teams at the top of the group, both teams in the top 3 of Group A, but I don't look at LGD as a team like, well, they have a chance, but they're going to lose. I look at that like, well, this is LGD. They actually can beat these teams. Like, they have shown up on the big stage before. They've had some moments of greatness, like if you look at their wins going back to day 1 when they took games off OG, so I don't want to be too quick to count LGD out today.
I mean, I don't want to count LGD out at all either, but man, yesterday was not a good one.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is that was yesterday, so they've had a chance to sleep it off, but I think the fact they lost that first BO2 definitely contributed to their mental state in the second one, so hopefully that hasn't carried over to today as well.
Do you know how the brackets are determined? Is it
first place chooses their opponent from 3rd and 4th?
From either of the groups, or
no,
they have
from
to
the
choose
other group?
Okay.
So first of Group A can choose 3rd or 4th from Group B, and then 5th place gets to choose 7th or 8th from the other group.
What happens to I guess 2nd then is determined. So let's say EG finish at the top of the group, which if they win these 2 games, they most likely will be. Then they would be able to choose Newbie or Liquid.
No, and as it stands now, hey, you want Newbie or Liquid? They're probably like,
you have a preference?
They're probably like, can we choose DC? It's like, no, you can't choose them if they get. If you're DC, you're like, let's get 2nd place, because then you're not getting chosen. Nothing against DC.
But let's just play fantasy brackets real fast.
Yeah.
As things are, eHome will most likely take Alliance. That means it would be Wings versus
and
DC.
if TNC do better than Alliance and they take TNC, for example.
Because I think the team... Man, I feel bad for Group A. Because there's nobody really in Group B that you want to... I feel like the Group B top 4, aside from maybe DC, are ones that you're just uncomfortable playing.
I think if you're like TNC or Alliance going through the main bracket, though, you're like... okay with getting eHome rather than Liquid or Newbie. Yes, eHome have been like the CDC of this tournament. They've gone completely unnoticed, but you have time to prepare for them, which has kind of maybe been the issue where there's so many games going on. Use those 2 days off to kind of figure out what eHome are doing that set them apart, has won them so many games. Because they've not shown to be that top-tier team that Newbie or Liquid have over the past 6 months.
I will tell you that when Liquid has time to prepare, when Kuroki has time to just sit down and assess the situation, that's when this team is really... When they literally just have that one team to focus on, that is like playing to their strengths, because they work out all the drafts for all 3 games, I'll assure you, just in case there's a 3rd game, and they kind of usually get it right. This is the crazy part. Kuroki usually has a good idea, but in these kind of frenetic, 2 game, then you have to go to sleep immediately, wake up and start playing again. That does not benefit their style whatsoever, and we're seeing that right now. Yeah. Whereas a team like DC, they're probably just showing, they're like, YOLO.
Alright, LGD, EG, draft unveiling here. LGD showing slightly different direction. Mirana Oracle opener. Looks like we will be seeing I can only imagine that's a core Mirana with the Oracle as the support that you don't want to pair with a Mirana typically. And then Nyx Assassin. Nyx, one of the surprisingly highest win rate heroes right now.
Oh, he's ownage. Yeah. I do think Invis heroes right now are at a premium, because all Invis heroes, what they do similarly is they force you to play a certain style against them. Your usual greedy supports have to buy wards like crazy. You've got to invest into an earlier gem. If you lose that earlier gem, then
game gets hard.
Yeah, the game gets very hard, because you don't want one of your cores buying that gem early on. So that's like a potential half of a 4-step that Avenge could have gotten invested into a gem. You lose it in that first fight. She's just like, my life is over.
Yeah. And then there's been like the small nerfs to gem with the range of it. The tower ult thing, that's a buff to Invis heroes. Yeah, I mean, it sounds silly,
it actually is.
Oh, I didn't realize like how good the setting was. Now when I'm like playing pubs, I just hold ult anytime I'm going near a tower. Like you just play with ult held down.
It's super nice. I can't believe that if you're not using it right now, guys, you are missing out. Yeah. Just the tower vision, all that stuff. Knowing where the camp's blocked from?
Yes, I mean, you can be right on the closest to the edge, like if you're about to form a jungle camp before you go in.
It's just maxing efficiency all around it. LGD, they're going to pick up the Lifestealer for themselves, so they've got a taxi for the Lifestealer. That's always important. You need somebody that can be the vehicle for your life man, and with the Nyx Assassin buff to how long is Vendetta last early on, you can see some earlier ganks overall. And against the Drill Ranger, you really have to get in there as fast as you possibly can.
You can't really rely on Vendetta, though, if they're pushing, because they're going to have sentries. We may need to see a fast blink on Zhao 8's Nyx, assuming it's him playing it.
Then I think we can pretty much categorize the 2 styles right now. I think EG want to ball up, take fights together, whereas it looks more like LGD just... They need to pick off, and they need to be relentless in the early fights. They need to essentially just beat them back. It's this, once again, it never feels like LGD are the team that, in their drafts anyways, that are going to push the pace. But the weird thing is, last time I didn't even favor them late game. Just because I think 4-step is Lifestealer's natural enemy.
Yeah, oh, you definitely don't want to be running... I guess the Mirana as the secondary core is fine, maybe as a partner going late game with Lifestealer, but it's definitely not amazing. We've seen the Zhao Ranger go late game just fine. It's kind of that... After you get past your kind of early game power spike, you fall off for like until you get another couple of items, but then you get late game with like the Ag Scepters.
The Tesla Ranger.
Yep, the Tesla Ranger comes out, good to go.
Oh, Voidro.
Ooh, what is this?
Mid-bat.
Yeah, mid-bat. Sumail. Okay.
All right. And you do need a setup for the Drill Ranger, and Faceless Void is also very good against Oracle because of the time dilation. It actually owns versus the Nyx and the Lifestealer too.
5 seconds remaining.
And as far as the safe lane goes, it is looking like, for now, Lifesteal Oracle, you don't know what that second support might be. It could even be the Nyx if LGD want to grab a different offlaner, but as far as that lane goes, at least somewhere where Void can get some experience.
Yeah. I mean, laning wise, you could even put Nyx as a support in a pinch, if you absolutely have to. Downside of this hero, of course, is that the laning phase is so incredibly weak. I don't think I've seen anybody have a super successful like Nyx laning phase so far.
EG's turn
Last
to
man
bat.
onto the Enchantress. PPD's been busting out some junglers. He pulled out the Chen in multiple games, showing.
PPD Ophelia.
Was that it? Did he used to play that?
I think so.
Maybe.
10 seconds remaining.
Of course.
I thought that was some nickname, and then it hit me what you were talking about.
Yeah, it was the
5
Han one.
seconds remaining.
Shout out to all the Han players playing in this tournament. Shout out to Grant, EG's #1
Reserve
supporter.
time.
Definitely watching this game.
5 seconds remaining.
There's a lot of players who've come over from HON now,
Yeah.
and a lot of them who are here at TI.
Zai.
Yeah.
EG's turn to
I mean,
pick.
We have some classics though. Fear and Universe.
Yeah.
Universe 112. I remember. I remember this guy's origins. He used to be in Garena Clan War Room 1 in USA Garena Clan War Room 1 for
10
NA
seconds
scrims,
remaining.
and he'd always be that guy that's like, "Hey, anybody need a ringer? Anybody need a ringer?"
5
And
seconds.
when I quit Dota 1 and I found out that he was going to be a TI, I was like,
LGD's
Really, Universe?
turn to pick.
and now he's just become like the beastly sauce. Like,
Yeah.
What happened?
and persistence can pay off.
Yes, he is.
Dota 1 days were crazy.
He is the absolute measure for me.
Then you got Fear, who even going back to
10
like way back
seconds
then, he was
remaining.
like he was the cool kid even then. Like everyone wanted to play with Fear.
Yeah.
Like he was.
I mean,
he was a
Fear-
big deal.
5
Here's a
seconds
different story.
remaining.
Fear's always just been that guy. He's been the guy in Dota. I think when you look at historic careers,
Reserve
Fear
time.
will very highly, if not be rated the highest out of everybody, just because of how consistent of a career he's had.
Right,
Dota
someone
1 and
actually,
Dota 2.
I think it was Nahazu asked that question. Like, if you look at all-time history of like Dota 2, and maybe even include Dota 1, like would Fear be in like the top 5 best players ever? And it was kind of like, well, actually, yeah, like he's probably is top 5 Dota players of all time.
I think
Like,
the only people that really,
10
maybe the only, honestly, if you include Dota 2, I think the only person that really compares there anymore is Puppy.
you know, there's probably maybe a few players from the eastern scene who could do as well. Some of those have already like retired though, aren't still playing.
Yeah.
You've got some classics like Hal. You'd maybe put someone like 430 there, but he's fallen off lately.
Yeah.
Burning could have been in that same talking like category, but he hasn't actually won a TI, and he's also not here at this TI. So Jawait maybe the player you could group in there as well.
Yeah, Xiaowei toned.
As far as captains go, it's like Jawait, PPD,
Puppy.
and Puppy.
Yeah.
Like those are the big 3. Shout out to RTK though, who gets an honorable 4th mention from me.
An honorable 4th
You
mention.
know, as much as people give RTK shit, all you gotta do is like look at how he's been top 4 to 6
10
like every
seconds
single
remaining.
TI he's played at.
Yeah.
Like 4 TIs in a row, from TI2 through
5
TI5.
That record still
remaining.
stands because he's not.
Yeah, but that's just ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
how, like what it takes to maintain that
Oh, I would love
level
to have
of
that
play
kind of
as
career.
a captain. Yeah, like
Alright, team with the most kills at game end. I think EG will win this game through draft. So I will say
Prepare for
EG.
battle.
Total number of players.
doesn't look like that many deaths.
I don't
Will
think
it be
there'll be that-
16 even?
I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
got a bounty. I'm gonna go 16. Up to you.
Every time I put will a tower be denied, yes, I am wrong. That's like 6 times in a row, David.
Yeah. So now you're gonna be wrong the other way.
Yeah, number
Ancient
of
camp
ancient-
stacked. Whoa.
Oh, I don't think there's gonna be any, if at all. I think 0 to 5 is the safe.
Maybe EG because of the drought, but
I think 0 to.
oh, that's good. I think we're pretty
I
similar.
feel pretty
Did
confident
you go
with my.
16? Yeah, you got 16. We go the same.
I think 16 might be high in a game like this. For some reason, I feel like I'm too comfortable seeing LGD just dodge fights.
They have got bounty life sealer. I'd like to think they're gonna try, not in the first 10-15 minutes, but this is by 25 minutes.
30
okay.
seconds
I mean, looking at
to
how the
battle.
game's going to revel, from the 15 to 25 minute mark, I picture LGD kind of upping the pace of the game if EG are playing passively.
Yeah.
Even if you're behind, the way you get back in the game is by fighting, getting kills. You've got Bounty Hunter.
I am glad that LGD have abandoned their Tide Hunter principle.
Yeah.
Because it honestly just felt, because Tide, it sounds weird, guys, but Tide is one of those heroes that you have to really play around. He has to be kind of one of the focal points of your strategy just because of how important Ravage is. And it felt like because of that, they were playing too slow around it. Like it felt like LGD was uncomfortable playing around that Tide ultimate. Remember, we saw in 2 straight games where it almost felt like Xiao 8 was so hesitant to use it that the threat of it just kind of went away, which is the opposite of what you want out of a Ravage.
Good luck, have fun. It's cold as we'll see the 2 teams roll out the
Prize is mine.
Now, opening game of day 3 of TI6 group stages will be Sumail playing the mid lane Batrider. He's going to be going up against, of course, maybe on Mirana. Magic Wand already purchased, and
Oh, this is hard dueling to play against.
yeah, we haven't talked about the Lich Void, but this EG and PPD, this has always been like a not a go-to pick, but a pick he pulls every now and then, the Lich, and to run these annoying dual lanes.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough one, and Xiaohui's going to have to deal with that as MMY and Aggressive are pushed into this off lane, and not really sure who's got the better of this, as it is 2 ranged heroes. One of them has a stun, but I'd imagine if MMY and Aggressive get a decent amount of levels, they can do quite well in this lane.
And with the 3rd hero Bounty Hunter coming down, that'll be kind of the tipping point that should give LGD the edge. There is a sentry for EG hidden in the trees. Well, Banana, he went for the D sentry, but unfortunately for him, didn't manage to. Oh, he didn't even block the camp. He wasn't inside the little box, so.
Inside the little box.
Gotta hold that alt key. He hasn't set up his settings.
Man, he has not set up his settings.
Yeah.
Dude, he didn't hold the alt key.
Yeah. Xiaowei actually doing just fine. He's really giving Zai a beating up top. But Banana, he's I love this play. It's the we don't have a sentry ward, and then the creep wave comes though, so there's no more hiding it.
Yeah. And even gonna get wave of terror by PVD, so gonna cop some hits, but Bounty Hunter has an absurd amount of armor, which I'm always super surprised to see.
I mean, he's received so many other nerfs. I'm kind of okay with it by now, you know.
You can keep that armor.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna make a move on PPD. They do have the level of open wounds, but now Sai's down here.
There's no. Oh, he's got the 1 point in the front slot, but PPD is the first blood. Banana. That armor.
Yeah, and this is what we expected out of this lane. We thought that LGD, as soon as they hit level 2, they'd be very strong.
Yeah, I think EG recognized that because that's why they bring down the Lich, but it's kind of just a bit too late for them to salvage things here. Giving Xiaowei the 1v1 against Universe. Universe should have the edge. He's already has the CS advantage as Poor Man's Shield and Quelling Blade, but at the same time, Xiaowei is not going to get zoned out by the Faceless Void here, so we should see a fast level 6.
I think Void can just trade hits. Just because every single time you get hit, you can time walk like that.
I was looking for the courier. Came just a little bit too late.
This can't be that great though for LGD, because now EG can turn EG Universe more into a core.
They definitely can, and that's going to be part of the plan. But I guess for LGD, it's what they do when they get this fast level 6 with Nyx. Like how active and involved can Xiaowei get?
He's already out of mana. I'm a little bit concerned because I think as somebody who's played this lane before, it just feels so nice for Void. It feels like you're getting uncontested farm because, I mean, just look at the damage difference between the 2 heroes. 77 base for Void. Like that alone.
Yeah.
I played this lane. It feels miserable, gods.
Yeah. And the Nyx, well, I guess he's just gonna try do what he can to pull creeps away from the Void. So.
No, he's just beating him bigger creeps.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. Yeah, you pull the way back, then Universal take the Centaurs as well.
All right, he is getting absurdly farmed right now. He just gained like K of gold right now.
Yeah. He's already hit level 5. He's out leveling the mid laners with the neutral creeps. So
yeah.
Bottom lane PPD's been initiated on Banana once in. Sentry Ward was there, and I think Banana may actually go down here. 1 or 2 more right clicks. He will take a fall. Fear. Wow, that was big. He was just about to start healing after that Purifying Flames when MMY had the follow-up right click.
Ooh.
That was so close to Fear not dying.
Very well done by LGD, and this is the kind of start that they need. We've talked about it before that Dro doesn't have a lot of weaknesses when you just allow her to get online so quickly, but this time the aggro tri-lane is gonna really start to slow things down for them here in this bottom lane, but the other 2 lanes, that's where EG will kind of find redemption.
And Xiaowei, yeah, he's level 4, so hasn't really got a good escape. We'll Carapace up. And Banana's TP'd in as well, but Sumail with the haste rune. That haste is going to wear off. Xiaowei's going to turn and fight. Banana may be able to help get this kill. Has just a level 1 True, and Sumail is going to go down.
That is not great for EG.
That was, I guess Banana, it's like he just respawned, so he's like, I can TP anywhere. They're diving my top lane. Let's go.
That'll alleviate some pressure from bottom, but very good rotation by Banana as they're going to make the aggressive move onto MMY and
with the TP top, it meant bottom lane was very vulnerable. Universe even TPing down here. Has
gonna look for the angle,
and he'll get it. Kill and aggressive, both kills going to Fear, so suddenly was a nice rotation from Banana. Universe one-ups him and TP's bottom to get a kill on Lifestealer.
Now 3 out of the 4 top net worths once again belong to EG. The 2 supports though from EG, as a result of all this laning though, are hurting quite badly. And it's not like they have the most scaling late game supports either. LGD, they've got to be pretty comfortable having a bounty hunter and an oracle on their side. But Lich does start to lose his effectiveness post laning phase outside of that frost armor.
So the lane swap now coming out from LGD. They're going to leave Zhao 8 bottom. Universe is coming back in. Stun comes out initially, needs maybe a time lock and he'll get it. Zhao 8 will stun once, almost gets the kill in fact.
Yeah, 21 HP, but didn't really have a target to go for, as nobody's going to be able to mop up that Zai kill. Now Universe is going to TP back home, grab some mana.
Sumail slowed down, but the arrow, you're not going to come out from maybe.
Yeah, in fact, MMY is coughing a lot of damage.
And this is just Sumail fire flank to push the wave so he can grab the rune, which he won't actually find. Bounty Hunter Banana was there at the top rune. Bottom rune still available if he can find his way down there.
Banana is being such a nuisance right now to EG.
His individual plays definitely been impressive this game. Like I think he's had some hit or miss games, but like here in the early game, he's showing good understanding of what he needs to do.
I think he just has to get into the groove of it, honestly. Like, he just has to start picking up the paces. Zai up at top will place the sentry in the right area, but walk by it and doesn't see it.
Ooh.
That would have been pretty big. That's a freshly planted ops ward.
Will the creep wave see it? No.
No.
Wow. Just being ever so slightly in the fog.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. There's actually a pretty significant mark. He'd have to walk through that direction, so...
Yeah. Pretty cool spot for the ward as a result.
Yeah.
I mean, normally you see it a little further to the left because you want that ward to see the T1 tower for when you push, but yeah.
Fear is so scared right now. He does not want to play this lane as now they're just gonna farm this together. I think maybe he's just getting impatient, and it's because EG know they have a ward.
Level 5 bounty. This is looking like a very fast level 6. All thanks to that kill at top on the Bat Rider. That got I think it was solo XP for Banana.
Still, I think if things go passive like this, it does favor EG overall, just because their Void is always going to be farming.
Yeah.
And you see that right now. He's top net worth in the game, despite having moved around so much.
Yeah, he's very scary at this point. It has the max out time walk, so Genki killing him would require some level of coordination between your stuns, which Zhao 8 can bring to the table. He has hit level 7. We'll see him pick up some arcane boots shortly, so he should be thinking about his first Vendetta gank fairly soon. And Universe would be one of the prime targets for that.
Yeah.
PPD has dust here though. Fear is just going to get stunned up. Zhao 8 gets hit by the dust. I think he's just going to keep running back to his tower, and that's actually alright play coming out from the Nyx. The arrow unfortunately will slightly miss PPD, who doesn't even have boots here, so if they want to try dive this tower, they've got numbers. They've got 4 heroes down here. LGD, they want to go for this.
Them.
Yeah, Zhao's got the carapace. He could lead the way. Instead, it's going to be Zai off to the side. He's the initial kill. TP's coming in now from EG. It's Sumail on the bat. EG, rather than ditching the tower, they decided to stand their ground, but they're kind of trapped under here.
With these illusions, they're going to tank the tower for them and scout out as LGD. They want to continue this dive.
Arrow doesn't hit Fear, though. That's a big cooldown. Zhao 8, he's going to prop the carapace onto the Firefly. Turns for the Impale, needs it, and it will do so. Maybe Starstorms, and that's a dead bat right at PPD and Fear. Now in a, well, initially a 4v2, turns into a 3v2 with the kill on the Oracle. Zhao 8 doesn't actually have carapace. Void, he's going to kill a solo kill up top. Fear gets slowed down. Maybe he's back in with a Starstorm. Great play coming out from the Miranda to get that kill. And now it's
They want to
just
continue to dive. There's the first track.
with track, as you said. Unfortunately, without the arrow, it gets a little bit harder, but PPD has no stun. Drone's gonna TP after buying back, and without a TP scroll, maybe will go down. Problem for Fear is he doesn't get the full gold for that because of the buyback penalty.
Yeah, it does get a good amount of XP though.
Yeah.
And that's what I think he wanted, just in case. He definitely didn't want that Miranda to be able to get out, but overall that is absolutely huge for LGD.
That's what they... the one thing that they're going to probably be scratching their head about is the Void solo killing the Lifestealer at top.
Not sure how that happened. We were so focused on bottom.
Yeah. A chrono was used, but other than that, not sure.
I mean, I figured Universe would TP bottom. I thought he would have been one of the first ones, but he must have seen the opportunity to go for that top kill, and Aggressive just has not had a great game. I mean, if you look at Lifestealer's base stats, they're okay, but doesn't have the most armor. And we talked about how farmed and leveled this Void is. He's already got 3 levels of that time lock.
Well, as it stands, that's a T1 tower defended, but coming at a bit of a heavy cost. And that was where, like, EG, as soon as they TP in Sumail, they were committed to defending it, but they're completely trapped in those trees.
I think the part where they got really unlucky was that Zai was just walking in. So LGD got that free kill almost immediately with no investment of diving. And then from there, they had numbers advantage no matter what. And Zai didn't quite have that level 6 Chain Frost available to him.
Even just being there with the ice armor could have made a difference for his buddies. Having that bit of slow. Maybe at bottom. Pick up a Staff of Wizardry first. That's not what you'd normally see on the Mirana, but
usually you see that point booster.
Yeah. Perhaps just crew was at base coming out, I don't know. Maybe just player preference there.
Maybe.
He's an innovator, who knows?
He does some odd stuff.
But EG, they've got the lads on Void Universe. Talked about him being the most farmed. He has been overtaken by the Mirana after that team fight. Maybe picked up a few high value kills, but it's still a very scary Faceless Void this game.
Gold lead overall does go in favor of LGD as a result of that bottom dive.
Yep.
XP overall goes to EG just because how much their Void has. In all honesty, that's kind of the tipping point right now. Is LGD are going to make their assault mid. This is not a tower that you want to really get damaged if you're EG. Probably the most important tower in the early game.
Yep.
So they're going to preemptively move Universe.
Oh yeah, he's ready to go. He's on the high ground. Needs to be careful. There's a dire ward that he's been spotted now. He's been pinged out as well. Grabs the bounty rune from Jiawei, but it does look like EG will claim the bottom tier 1 tower without losing mid. And you mentioned taking some damage. It wasn't very much damage, at least.
Oh, Invis rune for maybe. Would be very nice for him.
Okay.
Might look for an opportunity here.
I guess there's no chance he's rushing a Yule Scepter on Mirana. No, he'd buy it now if that was the case.
Yeah.
Will be the Ag Scepter. I get so tilted every time I see this try to hero build thing pop up. You open the shop and it does it. I'm just like, god damn it, why did I open the shop?
Because you want to try a new hero.
Here you go, EG. They are being flanked. Sentry Ward is there to help cover them, but
yeah. We talked about how you don't want to give up this mid tower, but LGD might just kind of be forced to.
Yeah. As
Xiao8's ultimate is going to start running out now, and they're going to lose their ways to initiate, as EG have plenty of ways to start a fight, as Universe is lined up behind them.
That's the problem. Xiao8, without a Blink Dagger, can't start the fight.
Yeah.
You can't reliably Vendetta
they're going to find him.
Yep. MMY will look to save him with the False Promise. He's still taking a lot of damage, and Xiao8 should not have a way out of this one. They get the tower, they'll get Xiao8.
I believe.
Well, I don't know who you're believing, but it was a false promise from them, Will.
Oh, dang. I like that one.
It's early in the morning, I'm sorry. It only gets worse, though, even...
That was solid, man. Oh, they're gonna pop the dust, but Banana is out of range. But this might actually just come at the cost of a tier 2 if LGD isn't ready. They're gonna try to flank. They know there's no Chronosphere available.
Well, they want to fight. They're going to go in with the Rage. Aggressive gets instantly bashed up, and his Rage is about to wear off. He could be in some trouble here. There's an immediate stun with some Frost Arrow. Sumail hits the Flame Break to push Aggressive away. Not the direction I was hoping for. Sumail gets bailed out by PPD. Swapped up. Maybe he's going to start on. That's going to do some good damage to Sumail, but not enough with the Chain Frost starting to bounce. It's going to end, but it's already the death of Maybe's Mirana. And Xiao8 forced to defensively back off. Aggressive, infesting just a neutral to heal himself up, and Xiao8, he was banking on there not being a sentry, and well, it'll cost him his life. They're falling apart.
Was not the kind of defense that you want to hold, especially since the Chrono was down. That was going to be one of the better opportunities that LGD was going to find, but the flank just did not work out for them. As soon as they make their move, Aggressive loses half of his rage timer to a bash by that Faceless Void, and that's what we were talking about. You're so afraid of this hero at some point. With how many levels he's gone and how much farm he has. And probably the worst part of that is, it's not just the fact that you lost that tier 2, but it's that you lost your highest net worth hero.
EG right now just very strong when they 5-man. They've got the Vlad's drop, so they've got a couple different aura items. I mean, PPD with the max wave of terror makes it very hard to find the EG as well. You've got the ice armor, like everyone just gets that little bit tankier, has that extra couple of auras to fight around, and we're seeing EG take multiple towers in succession, and it's up to LGD to make something happen now.
Yeah, LGD are gonna smoke up.
Zhao Wei gonna lead the way.
They absolutely need to find a huge
And if anything,
target here.
this is the right play to fight away from the 5-man group up push, because they're always gonna have sentries when
They're
they
gonna
5-man
run into
group
fear
up.
here.
Yeah. The sentry comes, but it's too late. Fear taken out.
Yeah.
And if you can find EG split up, they can't have sentries everywhere on the map.
You say that as they continue to lay sentries down everywhere.
Okay. Yep, they get a couple. They get a 2-man chrono as well. Match lose 2 sentries. Banana trying to get out of range. The dust comes out now as well. Universal finish off the kill at the bottom, but meanwhile, LGD, they want to go back in. Sumail's already committed the lasso as aggressive, thinking about it. The Batrider kill, can he find it? Needs a couple more right clicks, maybe with the Starstorm. It's going to be just short. He does cancel the Urn Charge. Likely going to need an arrow for this one. Oh, the Carapace helping out, gets the stun on Zai. Maybe going to now send everyone invis. There are still sentries there. PPD, the next target for the Lifestealer. LGD is turning this one in their favor. They have lost 3.
Oh, maybe he's gonna get run into.
Oh my God, the sentries, they're everywhere.
There's 4 in a row.
You can't get away from them. He's got no TP as well. He does have an arrow. He may look to help get this Zai kill.
What about that arrow though? He's gonna reveal his position, and I think he's way too reluctant to without a TP.
Universe can 1v2 here against the Lifesteal Mirana, considering how low they are.
He has no fear.
Yep.
Although, as I say that, fear shows up.
More sentries.
All right, you said. God, I want to quote this.
You know, when I said it, it was true.
You said they're not gonna have sentries everywhere.
At bottom is bottom mid they're pretty close to everywhere.
Yeah, as we say that.
I'm about to say let's look at PPD's net worth. And they, EG, you take 3 towers in a row, win some team fights. You'd think your Venge would have some items on farm. No, PPD is like, I'll buy some more sentries.
Dude, he is
first,
hard
guys.
committed.
Yeah.
Liquid assets. Be ready to ditch these instantly. PPD is. It's almost like he heard you when you said there can't be sentries. Yeah. And they just started planting sentries everywhere. I mean, it's smart. It's the last thing that you can do. Oh, it's like your legacy. You're like, I'm 100% dead. There's nothing that I can further contribute to this fight, but might as well make it easier for the rest of my course.
You also know that LGD can't really take a successful fight without the blink. They happen to do so there just because they got the initial pick on the Drow, but if that hadn't happened and there were sentries there and EG were 5v5, EG win those fights handily if they have the detection for Nyx.
Oh, they get crushed.
But with a fight like that, suddenly Nyx is a little bit closer to the blink dagger. Scan did scout them out going into Roche. They know Fear was kind of standing on the edge as well, Sumail. On the high ground, and they've got the Ancient Black Dragon. This Ancient is actually fantastic for a fight around the Roshan pit.
He throws down fire
Fireball.
that does not dissipate.
It's also like you've got 2 lives. Like your first life, you're a Black Dragon, then you're reincarnated as a Lifestealer.
That's a good life to have, man.
Yeah.
That's a good cycle.
I mean, it's 2,000 HP that EG can't really chew through. Zhao Wei, it's the triple sentry now. It's
You did not learn your lesson. Universe is gonna go down.
That's fine. That's the sacrifice, I guess, if you're Zhao Wei. You say, we take that trade. Zai now is going to likely just look for a chain frost. It bounces once. Oh, it bounces twice. It's still going. Oh, no.
The lady.
That's not meant to keep on bouncing like that. Banana just couldn't get far enough away and aggressive. He's dead because of the chain frost.
And
More sentries.
More sentries.
PPD, he's on it. I don't think they can kill Sumail. He's very tanky here. They're going to try, though. Maybe he's got an arcane root that will help him out. He will leap to the side. He gets swapped back, and EG team wipe LGD.
And that was off of the back of the arrow that LGD had, and they kept their lifesteal alive for quite some time. It still wasn't enough, and I think that might just prompt them to run into this Roshan pit because they still have that chrono available. That was maybe one of the better situations that LGD were going to get into, and they still got whomped in the fight.
Yeah, trading Nyx for Void, very good for LGD, but everything after it, not what they were hoping for.
It's all these sentries, man. Oh, alright!
Sentries, dust,
Dude, you can't be an invis hero in this game anymore against EG.
Sumail, he wanted to go for the mana boat, but he didn't get it. Not enough. 50 HP, another sentry. Let's cover our bases, guys.
Dude, alright, so we talked about how teams don't like playing against invis heroes.
I don't think PPD cares.
Yeah, I think PPD's like, dude, this is my prime game.
This is PPD in his element. You know, I can't wait to see like the Dota buff stats for Ward's play. Zai's even taking on it. He's got a couple of sentries too. They fight Banana again. It is
This is
This whole
maybe the least fun game I've seen played by an Invis hero ever.
You know, there's like some obvious places where you'll normally walk
Tower
into a
is
sentry
under
here or
attack.
there. Like at a team fight, okay, there's a sentry, but you don't expect to be roaming around the jungle.
What's going on?
This is the most diligent sentry detection warding I've ever seen a team do.
They're just guessing, and I mean, oftentimes at this point, they're just really educated guesses, and they're striking every single
Radiant's
time.
top
And
tower is under
this is a
attack.
very, very well-oiled machine. EG is just playing at the top level right now, and LGD, I don't know how many more fights they can take like this, as they are getting rapidly behind. This core lifestealer wishes he had any sort of farm right now.
Just not a play from behind kind of hero to begin with.
Yeah, this has got to be frustrating for LGD, as I think they have to start dodging these fights, at least until the Aegis is gone, because if you can't win a fight under the circumstances of there being no chrono available and you popping the void instantly, you're probably not going to win a fight.
The push is on, PPD. He's got the sentries ready to go. He's put one down, he'll put another. Try and fight into this, he says. And Zhao still without a blink dagger. That is perhaps one of the biggest shortcomings of LGD's lineup right now. Is just not having that initiation.
Yeah, they don't, like you said, no way to open. The only way they were able to take that fight initially in the beginning was just because they had that arrow connect, but this bottom lane just going to get pushed out.
They've got the high ground ward, they've got sentries, they've covered all their bases here.
Yeah.
Smell went for it, though, so won't find it.
And EG, they're just taking things slow. They're going to allow Fear to just chip away at this tower, as the Drow Ranger plus Dragonlance makes you a decent range out of it, as LGD look like they want to just take this fight,
Yeah,
but
good.
they don't know about
Yeah. try and walk out of your base while invis LGD. Let's see what happens.
They've got to learn their lesson at some point. That EG is the most prepared team I've ever seen when it comes to warding.
Their obs gets taken out. Fear only gets a couple hits off before the creep wave dies, and the D ward on the observe ward means Fear can't just sit on that low ground and have vision of the tower to attack it.
Yeah. I wonder what LGD are going to think when they watch this replay. They just see all the sentries on the ground.
This is yeah, a new kind of hate for invis.
There's just a trail running all the way up.
It's one of those things where when you see it, you think, man, they invested that much money. If we just played a bit more defensively and not taken fights, they would have their economy would have been really shattered. But
Yeah.
maybe just going to keep clearing these waves out. They've got the lasso. It's on Zhao, but immediate false promise. Nicely played. Sumail gets low, but swapped out the Chronosphere, catches 3. Where's the fall damage? It comes from the Zai. Chain Cross, maybe silence up. No escape for him. No buyback for him, in fact. As Zhao will immediately repurchase his own life. That sentry, LGD say no. No sentries on our high ground, at least not just yet. PPD's got another. And there we go. Oh, LGD trying.
What do you guys
Go
think?
into this.
This is not your base.
Yep.
EG have kind of set up a comfy zone.
This area is theirs. Zhao like, I'll come near. I want to get in there, but no, Universe won't have any of it. He bullies him away. Meanwhile, Banana are going to get taken out as well. And EG just beating down on LGD, and it's a GG call 23 minutes in. We talked about today being a big day for LGD. They've got 4 games to play. Realistically, to get top 4, they have to win 3 of the 4, and they've just lost their first, so...
Hey, we got 3 out of 4. We would have gotten that second one if... I mean,
If they
EG...
didn't buy as many centuries.
Dude, EG averaged more than a kill a minute. That is absurd. That's usually the statistic that I know if a game is super one-sided. It's the kill a minute. But wow, that was...
There's some teams like MVP that always get a kill a minute, but for EG,